Hello and welcome to a P video, and today we're looking at Transformers Age of the Primes, the 13 Prima Prime. You can transform this in 20 steps. It says 8+ for the thing, and then on there it's got a little sort of Sigma going on there. Hasbro, Takara, Tomy, the usual stuff. And this is Voyager Class to all are one, and we've got the picture that goes around in a circle of all the primes. So 20 steps. He comes with a little matrix by the looks of it, which you can put in the sword as well, which is pretty nifty. And there is beautiful artwork on the side. So let's get this figure out and have a closer look at him. Okay, so Prima Prime out of the packaging. Looks okay. It feels a bit bland. He's got this very sort of grayish look about him. But he does have nice little tints of blue that just pop up in various parts that perhaps delay a little bit, and darker grays as well as sort of this whitish sort of light gray in my mind all the way through. And the back looks very, very nice. I honestly thought that we had this figure before, but in terms of I felt like he was just a repaint of a cup because of the way that the auto mode looks. Bear in mind, I've obviously not transformed him, but that was the sort of idea. He comes with this very cool blade, which I think is very, very nice, very distinct, and a reasonable size in my mind. You can put the matrix on there as well, like so. On there, you can put the matrix on there, which I think is pretty decent, pretty nifty, pretty new. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea where this character stands in terms of his relationship in terms of, I guess, probably more comics, unless I'm mistaken, or Transformers 1. This whole line sort of throws me off. There's no real dialogue on there for those that have not associated with this character. But I guess I can only think that it's probably more the comics than anything else. But I could be wrong, completely wrong. So I have no idea. So hence me not really having much to say about this guy, other than the way that he sort of looks. So got nice movement on the head. This bit does poke down as well, like that. You can adjust even more. I guess that's probably more for the transformation mode. Get it up like that. Get a nice swivel there. Just a single, and then go around. These do poke out the little hands, which I think is pretty cool. Nice movement on the waist. You can lift up the skirts as well to get the legs out, like so. Although I've just knocked the sword, which can sit quite nicely on the back. There is a swivel there, a little up there, a little right there, and well, that's pretty much it. Now, other than that, you can open up the chest like so, and if you want, you can put the matrix of leadership in there quite nicely, and that does look pretty awesome. I think that looks pretty cool. I do like that, actually. That looks very, very cool. I think that fits in there quite nicely. So without ado, let's transform him into that auto mode and have a look at that. So in terms of the auto mode, very easy transformation. Nothing really exciting, but yeah, it was easy. It happened. It all sort of fits together, and I guess it does look like a vehicle that would be roaming the edges of space. Now, you can add the weapon in there if you like. It fits in there quite nicely. I think if you've got that out, actually it leaves this really big gap and perhaps stands out a little bit. The other method you can do, which I find it perhaps a little bit weird, I guess it depends on how Prima would use it, is you can put the weapon on the front like so. Yeah, whilst this is on the back, you can obviously put this under here. You can just pop that in up there like so, and that just hides that piece away. You probably don't want the matrix on there because that rubs. You can move this around sort of, yeah, they're rolling, they're moving. That's the important thing. And you can also have a whole hover mode as well. So if you flick that out like so, and then flip that up like that, you then create, maybe that was the wrong way. Oh no, I think that's right, yeah. Sort of like a hover car. And you can just sort of hover around. So I think that's a nice little gimmick, a little bit different, a little bit special. That's my cup of tea. You can obviously put the weapon on the side as well, which I actually think is a little bit better than on the front. I feel like that's not so in your face and a little bit bizarre. So you can do that as well if you choose to, entirely up to you. It's your figure to play with and mess around with as you I must apologize. I had football in the background and it just came on bizarrely out of my control. So I do apologize. Not the usual way I like to review figures. But yeah, sometimes weird stuff happens, right? Anyway, if you like my video, do subscribe to my channel. Obviously, sorry that I didn't give you much detail about the character because I just don't know enough. It's really bugged me today that I've literally just talked about a toy and nothing else, no connection whatsoever. Thank you to those for watching the video. Thank you to everybody that subscribed to my channel. Make sure you look after yourself, and as always, embrace the geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.